Okay, I thought I would jump on and say a few things while we still have a semblance of free speech and a semblance of free assembly, right? I've never been a protester, never going to be a protester. This is my form of protest, speaking uncomfortable and inconvenient truths into the void and seeing who catches the seeds on the wind and who wants to plant a garden with me. So yesterday a friend and I went out for a bit and had a really lovely day, just a relaxing day by the river. But we did see these 10 military trucks that were probably heading to California for the riots. And when I hear the word riots, I grew up hearing about LA riots, LA riots, LA riots. Now knowing what I know, I understand that's Freemason psyop, as is everything, as is every war, as is everything on the news, as is every song, every film. It's all Mason programming, what I've come to call Illuminati fuckery, right? Because they're sending these troops, these young guys, often in their 20s, sometimes 30s. You know, they've got families at home, and they are being deployed against enemies that they perceive that are vandalizing and destroying property. What they are not being deployed for is to go into the DUMBs. DUMB stands for D-U-M-B, deep underground military bases. They're not going there. They're doing the surface optics to show you that they are serious and there will be arrests for those who go against the current regime. It's all very inconvenient and messy, right? Or is it just very convenient timing as a distraction from, oh, by the way, Trump is on the Epstein lists? And then what did he say? He said, it's old news. He didn't say it was fake news. So this is all, look over here, not over here. You know, pay attention to this, not the real truth, under the truth, under the truth, under the truth. That's how the Masons like to operate. The Freemason onion, layers and layers and layers. And it stinks just like an onion, because it's a lie. Everything they're telling you is a lie. When they do the divide and conquer games, the MAGA versus lib, when they do the, violent stuff, they are looshing you. They're harvesting your energy. Loosh is human energy. It's soul energy. They're trying to get us to hate our country and feel despair about the state of things, because then they can swoop in with their fake solutions, Hegelian dialectical, or however that is, how that goes. Hegelian, whatever, means problem, reaction, solution, basically, like they did with the pandemic, okay? So once you know that, you have a hard time even getting upset. It's not that you numb out, per se. You still see it, and you still go, oh, they're doing that again? Old news. No new moves. I remember growing up and hearing about the LA riots, and yes, that city is always burning. It's always burning because it's literal hell on earth, okay? There are plenty of innocent people there who don't know what's going on. I am not addressing them when I say that. I am addressing the celebrity pedovores who sodomize and cannibalize children, because that's what they do. And that is the actual fucking truth. And if you don't know that yet, you got to catch up and wake up a little bit. A little bit. This is not conspiracy theory. This is what they call truth plus time. So I'm just documenting this. I'm putting it out there, and might get scrubbed, might get banned, might get warning signs on it, because that's what they do to me all the time. I'm censored and shadow banned. I'm kicked off platforms. Tells me I'm definitely on to something, and they don't like truth. They just love lies. So these people worship Lucifer. He is known as the father of lies. This is not a religious thing on my part. That is their operating system. That is what they believe. That if they hurt babies, and if they hurt babies, they hurt Creator. They hurt innocence. They hurt and exploit that pure love energy that comes from the highest consciousness possible. Because to me, a baby is never born in sin. There's no such thing as original sin. There is only original innocence. And then souls become sort of, quote unquote, corrupted or distorted or tainted here through their actions, through falling from grace, through choosing wrong, right? Choosing to do wrong, to hurt people who don't deserve it, and then to lie about it and cover it up. And that's what they do. And then they pretend they're kind, they pretend they're loving, they pretend they have some higher purpose or some noble calling, and that if you can be deceived, you deserve to be deceived. So all I'm saying is don't be deceived. This is the military-industrial complex that all the way back to Eisenhower we've been warned about. And they do these messy games on you. And if you buy into it and you fight with your family, you fall out with them, which a lot of us do, and you become estranged from your core community or your support system, and you become isolated, that's what they want. They want you alone and scared and sick and fat and broke. They want you desperate, and they want you hopeless. That's what they want. They don't want your happiness. They don't want your well-being, and they don't want your peace, because that threatens their bullshit. And their bullshit is financial abuse. It's narcissistic abuse. And it's all for them pulling in the ranks and closing minds and hearts to each other so that they can get more recruits for their stupid cult, okay? And it's really a stupid cult, because evil is clever, but it's not smart. And it is not wise or kind like it postures and pretends and virtue signals to be, because you don't have to cover your face with a mask to do evil and call it good, right? Like, that's gonna backfire on you and ruin your whole life and ruin your children's lives. And so here I am again, the messenger, and they do love to shoot the messengers with rubber bullets, or real ones. So I risk my life by saying these things, even though I know truth makes me feel the best. It is a peace and a calm in my nervous system, like being with someone who's just a wonderful person, who has a good vibration, who means and does well in the world. That's when you feel safe. That's when you feel genuine love, when you feel affection and care. And I promise you, anything you're seeing on your screens right now is not that. You know, unless you're seeing people water their gardens, build things, play with kids without using them for clicks, you know, be foodies without using food codes that are really just pedo codes. Let me tell you some of the big basics: pasta, pizza, ice cream. And you hear these things over and over again, hot dogs. They are telling you that's how they see children, right? Objects, things to use for their pleasure, to use and extract pain from them. And that's not a good human. That's not even a human operating system at all. That's demonic, archonic, archaic, draconian, and stupid, because it's short-sighted. It doesn't take into account the big picture of the long term. And there's no nobility, humility, integrity, or dignity in any of that. And there sure as heck isn't any love in that. So really, we're on a planet of opposites, and you can go into the love, which is truth, or you can go into the fear, which is lies. And so when you know what you know, and if you know, you don't play their games. You don't listen to their stories. You go write your own. And that's what I highly suggest today. Unplugging, moving away from screens, not because you're in denial or overwhelmed, but because you just see through it and you don't want to play. All right? Much love.